What's up, everyone? John here from Broad Culture, and today we are starting a new series. We're just starting a podcast here. I am, anyways. Dash has his own podcast that he does here and there, but I'm going to try to do this one of these every week. There's going to be a couple that should come out soon. Anyways, this is the Broad Culture podcast. The Wrestling one, episode 1. We are still working on a name for this. But I do have four things I want to talk about, and this one thing to end off, just one discussion piece to end off the episode. So with that said, let's get into this. The first thing is the King of the Ring is back, and we have the competitors announced for it. On the Raw side, we have Baron Corbin, Cesaro, Cedric Alexander, Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe, and The Miz. On the SmackDown side of things, we have Ali, Andrade, Apollo Crews, Buddy Murphy, Chad Gable, Elias, Kevin Owens, and Shelton Benjamin. I honestly wouldn't change any of these names that's been announced. All of them either deserves a push, hasn't been featured that much on TV, so them being in this match is helping them, such as Buddy Murphy and Chad Gable. Buddy Murphy and Chad Gable are going to be like two of the big people who that will gain anything out of this. I think I can see where they're going with this after writing stuff out, but I'll get onto that here in a bit. But how do I want this to play out? I want there to be the Raw tournament side and the SmackDown tournament side. Like all the Raw superstars compete on the Raw, and SmackDown competes on SmackDown, leading into Clash of Champions, where the finals would be. So the Crown King of the Ring at Clash of Champions. That's how I would do it. I would do it. Knowing WWE, it'll probably be over in the next 2 weeks. Or it could just be over next week on Raw. Wouldn't be surprised. But that's how I would do it. It's a giant storyline leading into Clash of Champions. But how do I think that they will book this tournament? So for the Raw side of things, I think it'd be Corbin versus Cedric, Cesaro versus The Miz, Ricochet versus Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre versus Samoa Joe. Actually, this is how I would book it. Not how WWE would book it, because if WWE is the one booking it, then we would get Drew versus Cedric in the first round, but we just had that on Raw, so I wouldn't book that again. But that's the first round for matches I would guess would be on the Raw side. On the SmackDown side of things, I think it would be Gable versus Elias, Apollo versus Buddy, Kevin Owens versus Shelton Benjamin, Ali versus Andrade. This first round, the matches that I actually want to see in this are Ali Andrade, because they're going to have a good match. I want to see a Buddy Murphy match, because I loved him as the 205 champion, the Cruiserweight champion. But I'm afraid that Eric Rowan is going to attack him like he did at SummerSlam, cost it, which would advance it into the next round. But why would they do that? Because it's WWE. Anyways, on SmackDown side of things, I do want to see Drew McIntyre versus Samoa Joe. That's gonna be a good match. But from there through the second round of matches, what I think would be in there would be Cedric Alexander versus Cesaro and Drew McIntyre versus Ricochet on the Raw side of things. On the SmackDown side of things, I think you can get Buddy Murphy versus Chad Gable, because Elias is a 24/7 champion, so he's going to be having to deal with the 24/7 championship shit. So then you got Kevin Owens versus Andrade in the final match of the second round. Out of this one, I would love to see Kevin Owens versus Andrade. That both men can be a hot fire. Kevin Owens can be a hot fire if but that match, Kevin Owens versus Andrade Cien Almas, is going to be a good match if it happens, when it happens. I'm actually really looking forward to that. Also, the whole Buddy Murphy moving on, because this is what I would want to happen. That's why he's moving on against Chad Gable. Then in the semifinals, on the Raw side, I would have Cesaro versus Ricochet, and on the SmackDown side, Kevin Owens versus Buddy Murphy. Yes, Buddy Murphy's in the semifinals, because I fucking love Buddy Murphy. I am talking probably a little bit too fast. I am sorry. I'll try to slow it down some. I'm getting used to the podcast thing, so please forgive. But in the finals of this King of the Ring tournament, hopefully at Clash of Champions, what I would want to be the final match would be Cesaro versus Kevin Owens. Cesaro coming in with heavy hits. Kevin Owens, the whole Stone Cold Steve Austin inspired thing that he's been doing. I see Kevin Owens becoming the King of the Ring, like how Steve Austin did, and this is like the start of his launch to superstardom. Even though it actually wasn't, his actual push didn't happen till like, I want to say 6 months? 6 months? 3 to 6 months after he won King of the Ring. But that's what I would believe would be it. I think this tournament is just to get Kevin Owens over. Same way they did with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't know why I was having trouble remembering that. As you can see from me just reading off how I would book this tournament, basically. You can tell that I want Buddy Murphy to go through, at least to the semifinals, to give him some credibility. Same with Cesaro, make it to the finals, because I feel like Cesaro needs some love. Also, if you loosen the reins on him, he is gonna be fucking amazing. So, yeah, that's that. last part I want to talk about for the King of the Ring is hold on. Sorry about that. One of the recorders just went off. I was trying to figure out why. The last thing I was going to talk about with the King of the Ring segment here is the King gimmick itself. Last time we had King of the Ring in 2015, Wade Barrett won it and became King Barrett. That also kind of killed off the Bad News Barrett gimmick. In that regard, I don't really want to see somebody just take up the King gimmick. Ah, God, I see it now. They want to do that with fucking Cesaro. Cesaro's gonna be King Cesaro. Oh God, why did I even put that thought in my head? God. Anyways, a King gimmick can work for depending on the person that gets it. Like Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Jerry the King Lawler, Harley Race, King Booker. They all pulled it off extremely well. However, likes of Sheamus, Wade Barrett did not pull that off that well, and also superstars like Brock Lesnar. I believe Edge didn't. Edge didn't get a King gimmick. He just set his reign of awesomeness. But you don't, just because you win King of the Ring doesn't mean you have to have a King of the Ring gimmick. The King gimmick. I'd rather have the King gimmick set aside for somebody who could pull it off. And because I'm gonna be honest here, I think the King gimmick is what killed Baron, not fucking Baron Corbin, Bad News Barrett, Wade Barrett's entire run at the tail end of it to make him want to leave, which that's just me speculating, so it is probably not true, but yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. Just move on to, that's basically all I got to say for the King of the Ring itself until next week to when it happens. So into seg 2 here. All Out and AEW as a whole. So there has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches announced so far for All Out. By the time of me recording this video, more can be announced more likely by the time that I get through here. But so far we have the Women's Casino Battle Royal. The winner of that will face somebody for the Women's Championship on the first episode of AEW TV. That's fine. I really was. It's a mixed bag because I kind of enjoyed the first Casino Battle Royale. Also, some parts of it I did not like. So with the second go around, that they fine-tuned this and got it right this time. Another matchup that's been announced has been Joey Janela versus Jimmy Havoc versus Barry Allen. I think I just fucked that up so much. It's fucking Darby Allin. Oh my God. Why the fuck did I say Barry Allen? Who the fuck's Barry Allen? Anyways. Joey Janela versus Jimmy Havoc versus Darby Allin. I don't know if this will get the hardcore stipulation attached to it, because all three of them are hardcore. Well, Joe and Jimmy Happy are hardcore experts here. Darby is more of a risk taker and stunt doer. So, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a hardcore rating to it, or the stip to it. But, yeah. Then you got Best Friends versus Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta versus Dark Order. I don't remember the individual names. I know one's Dark Uno. I forget the muscular dude. I was going to call him Muscular from My Hero Academia. His name is Muscular now. Where the winner will receive a bye in the first round of the tag team tournament. Then we have Cody Rhodes versus Shawn Spears. That's gonna be a good match. All of Cody's matches are good, so there's that. Then we got a ladder match for the AEW Tag Team Championships. The Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks. That's obviously gonna be a match for high spots. Which is gonna be good. It has the potential to sell the show. And then we got Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. I am not for sure if this match has a stipulation already to it. It might have. But Jon Moxley's first big match in AEW. Kenny Omega is needing a big win in AEW. He did beat Sema at Fight for the Fallen, but Shima and Jon Moxley are two different levels of comparators. I see Shima more as a mid-carder to upper mid-carder. So, then last match that we have officially announced is the AEW World Championship match of Chris Jericho versus Adam Page. So this, from the current build, and what I know, there's a interview with Adam Page coming out soon, but dead air, yeah. So far, Adam Page has not been built up as a credible champion in this feud since Double or Nothing. Yes, he's won matches, but his caliber opponents has not been up there, like, or performance. Like his match with Kip Sabian, it shouldn't have went almost a full 20 minutes. It's 10 minutes, good match, in and out. Get him looking dominant. Put in some hope spots for Kip Sabian's with a near fall to set up, hey, potentially on another day he could have beat him. But that's all the matches that has been confirmed so far. I feel like there's going to be at least 2 matches that could be added to this. One of them is Awesome Kong versus Aja Kong. Reason why I think that, because at Fighter for the Fallen it was teased, which means it could happen after TV goes up and they start to build to it. But the women's casino battle royale, the winner will face someone for the championship. So if they're fighting someone, if it's not, it's gonna be like a mystery opponent. They need a match to set up that match, and they have one kind of already started with Aja and Awesome Kong. The other match I think could be added is MJF versus anybody. Basically, MJF can fight anyone, and he'll make the best. He'll do the best heel work of the night. So, this is what I think. Those are two matches I think could be added to it. Awesome Kong versus Aja Kong, and MJF versus anyone on the AEW roster. Maybe Orange Cassidy. He just signed a contract, so yeah, there's that. My predictions for the confirmed matches so far. I think Nyla Rose will be the victor in the Women's Casino Battle Royale. Unless they do confirm Aja versus Awesome Kong. Because then I don't think they will do another big woman versus big woman match right after that. Paul would say that to the final pay-per-view of the year, or some other point. Maybe Double or Nothing 2, if they do Double or Nothing 2. For the triple threats, I believe it's going to be Darby Allin that wins it. Giving him his first win in AEW. I would like to see Jimmy Havoc win, because it's Jimmy Havoc, and he's just great. In the tag team match, with the winner receives a bye in tournament, I think the Dark Order probably will win that. Then probably will lead up into the Best Friends going in and trying into the tournament and getting back to face the Dark Order in the finals of the tournament, where the Best Friends can become the tag team champions. In the Cody Rhodes versus Shawn Spears match, I believe Shawn Spears is actually going with that, because this is just the start of the feud, and this is something that can be carried into the TV's tapings and onwards. Also, Cody, from what I've seen so far, is not really focused on this match. Well, he's focused on it, but he's not really that focused on it. So I think that could be a factor into this, but who knows? Then in the tag team title match, for the AAA Tag Team Championships ladder match, Lucha Brothers, because they'll probably win the ticket back to Mexico and probably lose in Mexico before October 2nd. So there's that. Excuse me, that was just a yawn. Then we got the Kenny Omega John Moxley matchup. I feel like Moxley's gonna win that. Again, it could lead into a more fleshed out feud with Kenny and John Moxley on AEW TV. And in the main event, I think Jericho's gonna win. Because Adam Page, prior to an interview that's supposed to come out, which hasn't come out yet by the time we're recording this, he does not seem like a credible champion or contender for the championship, which I do hope changes, because I want the best out of AEW. Going into the last segment here for the AEW All Out thing, on October 2nd, we'll get the beginning of the Wednesday Night Wars of AEW versus NXT. NXT going to Fox Sports 1 and AEW on TNT at the same time, same time length, 2 hours long. Which one will I be watching? Watching live. I will be watching AEW live for at least the first 3 weeks to see if they can put on a stellar product, a stellar show. I will be recording NXT and watching it. I would rather watch it live, because that's how I did it. I've been doing it on the network, but fuck fuck me then, I guess. Anyways, that said, let's go into the third segment. That is my paper crumbling. Where we're going to be talking about the Fiend real quick for a second. And god damn, Bray Wyatt. Wasn't the Fiend fucking amazing? It's possibly the scariest thing since Kane in his prime in WWE. The whole Saber Lantern, his entrance. I am so glad that Vince is giving creative freedom to Bray Wyatt to pull this character off. I don't think any of the writers that WWE have could pull this off. I believe that this is perfect for Bray Wyatt. The Fiend just saved pro wrestling, basically. Saved the WWE, basically. SummerSlam was a good show, but the thing that everyone is talking about is the Fiend and his debuts. And like I said, this is going to be a short topic on the Fiend, but the Fiend itself is amazing. OJ was watching Wrestle Talk, and they were talking about how when they were Luke Owen was setting up to do his side of the recap of SummerSlam, and the lights went out. He's like, "Oh shit, is the Fiend behind me?" Like, it's making people actually scared, and after seeing it, and it's like, it's bloody brilliant, mate. But to end off the Fiend topic real quick, who I want to see his next feud to be with, it's hard because I don't know exactly which brand he's on, because he's on Raw and SmackDown. I could see The Miz. He could cost him King of the Ring next week for Raw. I think it'd be cool for him just to go after all of his old feuds. So here's an old feud that he can reunite Seth Rollins, because he's had a feud with Seth Rollins. Matt Hardy, which we haven't really seen that much of lately on TV. It's a shame. This Braun Strowman, but it's a little bit too soon. Xavier Woods in New Day. Could be interesting to see him versus Ricochet. Yeah, so that's basically it. Oh, but there's also one more. Aleister Black. I would love to see Aleister Black versus The Fiend. This should be a big four pay-per-view matchup. The Fiend versus Aleister Black. Say that it's probably tonight. It's gonna be the Fiend challenging Bray Wyatt challenging the Fiend to a match, and it's probably what's gonna happen. Anyways, going on to the last segment before the discussion part of it. Hell in the Cell is coming up. Unfortunately, unlike times of old, we'll get at least 2 Hell in a Cell matches a year at Hell in a Cell, which I would prefer it to be spread out more. or it could be happening at any time when a feud needs it. But what we got right now is what we got right now. So, who would I want? Who's the feud that I can see go into Hell in a Cell? That's easy. Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston, because they've been going at this for this storyline is 11 years in the making, basically. Since 2009, 10 years in the making. But their match at SummerSlam ended in a double countout, which was stupid. But you can't help that. If they're building to a Hell in a Cell match, I guess you don't want a clean finish. You're gonna get in there. Don't want and to build a blood feud. But yeah, that's the only match only current feud I see going into Hell in a Cell. But then we also got the discussion topic that I would be trying to add to at the end of every podcast. Who is your favorite TNA original superstar? I wrote down 3 here that I want to talk about quickly. The first one is Abyss. I loved his monster gimmick, the Monster Balls match. Janice, I loved everything. I love that. I loved his run. His final run was Crazy Steve, a part of Decay, all the Broken Hardy stuff. His stuff with James Mitchell. His run as a world champion. Abyss and TNA his prime was amazing. The part that I didn't like with him was the stuff with Hogan. I thought that was hokey a little bit. Next star I would like to talk about is AJ Styles. He is Mr. TNA. There's only a few things that I think he done wrong in TNA. Well, mostly TNA did wrong to him, which was pushing former WWE stars instead of their homegrown talent like AJ and Abyss and Christopher Daniels. But there's some things that I didn't like with AJ Styles when he came mini with Flair during Fortune. Also the stuff with Queer Lynch. Didn't like that. Which is funny because my actual favorite TNA's original star was also a part of Queer Lynch, which is Christopher Daniels. He's an amazing worker. He should have been TNA champion long time ago. Shame that he wasn't. He is an amazing tag team wrestler. The Bad Influence. But the reason why I'm putting him as my favorite is because of his stuff as Suicide. Suicide is the person that got me into TNA. So, if it wasn't for Christopher Daniels as Suicide, I wouldn't have got into TNA. So, well, guys, tell me who is your favorite TNA star, original superstar, in the comments down below. You also can tell me your thoughts on the Fiend. Which WWE feud do you think can go into Hell in a Cell? How do you think King of the Ring 2019 is going to play out? Your predictions for the current matches on AEW. But there's going to be one overarching question that I want to put over all of that I would like to know your answer to. Week 1 of the Wednesday Night Wars, who side do you choose, NXT or AEW? Which would you choose? I've been John from Broad Culture. Be sure to give this podcast a like, give it a subscribe here on Broad Culture on YouTube. Share this if you enjoyed it. Leave us comments answering any of these questions I asked or topics that you want us to talk about. Till next time, I've been John, and I'll be seeing you.